Hello Newcastle fans TV, welcome to the review of Newcastle United 1, Derby 0, McClaren's ill-fated return. Turned out to be a defeat for him, thank God, because the last thing we needed was Steve McClaren winning. Got a lot to get through, so it's an in-depth review of the game, and obviously we're going to be having a lot of audio from players, and obviously Channel 5 and Will himself as well. So let's begin with the lineups. Let's start with Derby. So I got 10 out of 11 right. The only one I didn't is Russell was playing on the left flank. I didn't think he would make it. I thought it would be Kamara, but McClaren went with Russell. So it was Carson, Baird, Keogh, Pearce, Olsen, Butterfield, Bryson, Johnson, Ince, Bent and Russell as I mentioned. Let's have a look at Newcastle. Now, there was a surprise. He dropped Lascelles and I wanted this and he'd done it. So thank you, Rafa. Darlow in goal, Yedlin at right back, Hanley come in at centre back, Clark, Dummett, Ritchie on the right, Shelvin Hayden in the middle, Gouffran on the left, Diarmid, as I would expect, to come in, playing the number 10 role, and Mitrovic. That surprised me a little bit because I thought it would be Murphy, but it was Mitrovic who went up top as well. So they were the lineup, so a little bit of a surprise inclusion, but I was pleased. I was really pleased seeing Lascelles drop. Don't think he's a bad player, but sometimes if you're out of form, you just need taking out the foul line and then he'll come back in. So the Gallagher flags brought the flags out, and the noise at the Gallagher end where we sit and stand was phenomenal. The noise was brilliant. It was like the old days with the noise and everybody was singing Rafa songs and Carl Darlow, oh, and everything. It was Sammy Amiobi songs. It was everything going on in the Gallagher. It was brilliant. The flags were back, and obviously the Rafa chant was singing. I accidentally caught me. I didn't know I was singing. Obviously, I put it on Twitter. Chronicle picked it up and put it in their live feed, didn't they? So here I am singing a Rafa song, and so is the crowd.
If you love Rafa, stand up. 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 If you love Rafa.
So party atmosphere, yeah. The game was poor. The game was shocking. Horrible game to watch. It was frustrating. We had a few shots in the first 10 to 15 minutes. We were shooting on sight, and then we got a goal with Matt Ritchie. Mitrovic chested down. Ritchie's wicked deflected top corner. He's off celebrating. Newcastle 1-0 up. 12 goals. 12 goals from Matt Ritchie, man. The lad's on fire at the minute. If you're a striker and you're on 12 goals, you'd be delighted with 12 goals. Absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, Derby looked a little bit threatening, especially on the left flank with Olsen and Russell. Ince, on the other hand, was very, very quiet. We'll come on to that in the second half. And then we got into half-time 1-0 up and thinking, yeah, it's not the greatest game. I was saying to Alan next, I was going, look, we need that second goal. We need that second goal to kill them off. It didn't come, luckily. Derby did have a lot of the ball second half. They literally, I would say they bossed it. I'm not going to lie, I think they bossed it. They had three clear-cut chances where the ball was chipped in and Newcastle's markings all over the place. Ince tries to be too clever and side-footed on the volley and it goes wide. Also, Anya was playing as well. He should have done a little bit better when it ricochets off Darlow. And then in the last minute, when obviously Carson was up for a corner, I honestly thought that it scored because it was Darren Bent who headed it. And I didn't want Darren Bent of all people heading that in. And then it was cleared out the line. Watch my reaction because I was heading out to St James's Park. Watch this.
Shit! Oh, it's off the line, Yedlin. Oh, get out!
So I honestly thought that was in. I was like, thank God for that. And then full-time whistle went, and I was like, oh, thank God for that. Newcastle scraped a win. It wasn't the most glamorous win that you'll ever see in your life, you know. But Newcastle, I think you need results like this when Newcastle go. It's St James's Park, even because away from home, we've dogged results out and nicked 3 points. Today it was one of those, but we're at home. It's not often we do it. Whatever blitz teams or we struggle and a lower end championship team comes and defeats us. So really, really nice to see Newcastle win. Let's have a look at the league table for you. So this is the league table, obviously. Newcastle, depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching this after the Brighton game and they've won, obviously we'll drop to second position. So we're top the league, obviously. I think what's key though is third position. If you look at the third position now, we're Reading. Obviously we've increased the gap and we've got games in hand. That's key. If we win our games in hand, I know it's a big if, but it looks so much comfortable, you know. Newcastle didn't play well. We got the win. We're going to talk about players now. So let's talk about players. I think Matt Ritchie, as I've already touched upon, he's got 12 goals this season. That's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant from a winger. You know, even if you had a striker scoring 12 goals at this point, you'd be delighted with it. So he's a man on form at the moment. He played really well. I think DeAndre Yedlin played better than him. I think Yedlin at right back defensively was outstanding. Probably his best defensive display I've seen. He's great going forward, but defensively that's his best I've seen him. Absolutely brilliant. That gives Rafa a little bit of food for thought because when Anita comes back, Personally, I think Anita has better defending. I think Yedlin's better going forward. But it just shows, because this is the time where Yedlin needs to stamp his authority and say, right, I am the right back of this club. Brilliant display, but Paul Dummett, for me, was outstanding. Now, he gets a lot of criticism from fans. Him and Matt Sell seem to be picked on quite a lot. But Paul Dummett today was absolutely a colossus, phenomenal performance. He's defensive, his awareness, his attacking sense of mind, his positioning, his head on the ball, his leadership. He's just brilliant. He had Tom Ince in his back pocket. How many times did you see Tom Ince today? Or even hear him if you were listening on the radio? How many times? Barely nothing. He was that poor, he couldn't beat Paul Dummett. McClaren moved him to the attacking midfield role like a second striker behind the strikers. And then obviously had his chance and fluffed it. But Paul Dummett, absolutely outstanding. 9.5 out of 10 for me. Brilliant. Right, now, I didn't put this on YouTube the other day where in Rafa's press conference and what he was saying about, obviously, the media saying that he hasn't got control of the transfers and so on and so on. Rafa's come out and said, I'm staying, I'm fighting. I put the videos out on Facebook and Twitter. So, obviously, if you want to follow us, obviously, it's on screen and obviously links in the description. But Rafa and Channel 5 picked this up. I also asked Will this questions as well. So, is Rafa in charge of transfers? He has a couple of clips.
He said he's not going anywhere, Keith, but he also said the club can't make the same mistakes as in the past. Is that a bit of a barely veiled warning that he will be off in the summer if he's not properly backed?
Oh, I don't think it's a veiled warning. I think it's a manager being very open and honest about his situation at the football club. I think he wants to have the control that the position is merited for as well. He will see that he needs balance and new players in the squad to maintain where Newcastle want to get.
Will he get what he wants?
If you are gonna have a moan and a gripe at your owners, the best time to do it is when you're top of the league.
I mean, the rumours about Rafa, a contract's a contract. If Ashley is, you know, retaking control of transfers, then Rafa has every right to walk away. I wouldn't blame him if he did, but we're blaming more Ashley for that one, I think.
Do you think Rafa's come out and said what he really feels, or do you think he's come out and said in the press conference what he had to say?
Well, he has to say. Well, he can't just say, you know, I'm just going to walk away at the end of the season.
Yeah, because Karanka attacked his board, didn't he, on Middlesbrough? Did you see that?
Yeah.
So Rafa's done the complete opposite.
I know, it's you know, we just got to, you know, wait and hope, to be honest. I mean, actions speak louder than words. In the summer, if we are in the Premier League, which hopefully we will be, we have to see what happens. I think we will invest. I think there was just maybe, you know, there's been things about saying, you know, we don't actually have any money left. So, yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see.
So I personally think it's time now to put them to bed. I think we'll revisit it in the summer with who's in charge and all that, but because Rafa will want his heavy say in money-wise, money's going up with the Premier League rights, obviously for Sky and BT. But we haven't got a game for a week now. Let me know what you thought of the game, the lineups, the Gallagher flags, the performance of certain players, and obviously the Rafa case as well. We haven't got a game for a week. We're playing Wolves, who are on fire at the moment as well. Think we're doing a podcast Tuesday. It could be in here or the next room. We're waiting on guests to confirm their confirmation. We might do it on live on YouTube for you, so you might actually see what live on YouTube, and then you can interact with it as well in the comments as well. But that's been the video. Hope you like the in-depth review. Thank you very much for watching Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll see you later.